session is for every working professional who is in sales. Apart from that, if you are an individual, let's say somebody said they're from data entry and you're looking for a new opportunity, you are looking for a new job, this session is going to help you out in that as well. If you are a freelancer, this session is going to help you with clients. If you are a business owner, how to get people on board, how to get clients and sales closed, how you can get rid of your hesitation or the mental barriers that we have, that how will I speak up to this new person, and all these hesitations you have while communicating. This session is going to help you out to come up with all the strategies and helping you become a better person altogether in your profession. But considering that, why am I the right person to tell you about all these things? I'll just give you a little bit of my background. I am currently a career coach and a sales trainer. I last year introduced Skill Up program wherein I help people how to apply for jobs, how to reach out for new opportunities. I have helped a lot of people. I don't have enough testimonials right now to show you, but yes, there are a lot of people I have personally guided and helped, and I have been training. Apart from that, it's been around 13 plus years. I started my career with event management. From there, I gradually moved into, sales and marketing. And my forte somehow became promotional events and, helping brands grow and generate revenue for themselves, get more eyeballs to the brand and focusing more upon sales. Okay, generating revenue is that what I have been doing. These are some of the pictures of celebrity management, brand promotion, sports events, and everything that I've done. But one of my favorites is that I just love talking about the book of records, wherein I covered 15 treks in 20 consecutive days. It was one of the most challenging things that I did in my life. And that there are so many probabilities, of an individual, how they can grow, how they can move out and do different things which we don't even expect. I have done a lot of public speaking sessions and for corporates, individuals, and colleges. But yes, I just love sharing the knowledge and information that I have. That is what I have been doing. One of the major challenges, that I have faced throughout my career, I would say, is speaking out in front of new people. When I started my career into event management, the reason was I loved talking to people. But at the same time, I was afraid to reach out to new people. That was the biggest fear that I had. There were times when I was not even able to order a pizza, in Domino's and just give a call or talk to customer care. It was so difficult for me because what will I say? So I used to give it to my friends and say, "Acha nahi, tum dekh lo yaar. Please manage kar lo, mujhse nahi hoga." So getting out of that zone to a point where right now I am in front of all of you and I am able to talk confidently. I'm able to share my experiences. I'm talking about my failures. I'll be able to talk about my success stories. All those things I'll be able to do only because I worked upon certain strategies, certain areas. That is what I will be sharing with you as well. And when it comes to sales, sales is something that actually made a lot of things very difficult for me when I had to speak to new clients, when I had to deal with. There were 2-3 strategies following. One of them was, if I have to go somewhere out and I have to meet a mail or calls, I used to deviate the actual closure. Instead of closing it on the spot, I used to be so afraid that on the spot, I wasn't a decision maker. It was a difficult thing for me. So one day it happened to be so that, I went to my boss. I said, "Sir, mere se sales nahi hogi. Sales is not something that is meant for me. I want to move into operations." Okay. And I love operations. I love management and coordination. I think that is better for me. I went there. He said, "Why you are not able to do sales?" I said, "First of all, I cannot lie. I cannot cheat. I cannot be diplomatic and at the same time, making false promises and then just for the sake of closing it, I close it." I said, "I cannot do it." And then he was the one who said, "This is what you're not supposed to do. If you really want to do sales, you have to be yourself. You have to be a person who can build a relationship," which I was good at. You have to do a transaction where you even consider the other person having a win-win situation. And it's not just your win, but a win-win situation. If you build a relationship for a going anywhere, right? And you are a problem solver, and you are an individual who is able to, give solutions to people. And this is what my boss observed about me, which I did not know about myself. And at that point of time, to be honest, even then I did not understand all these things that he said to me. It took me a lot of time to understand that, oh, this is something I'm really good at. And over here we have Sidhu as well. He knows that how I was when I was doing sales, right? So I know that it gets difficult for a lot of people when it comes to reaching out to new people, closing a certain thing, whether it is in the interview, being confident that I have to sell my skills, if it is, to a person who is a client and making him sure that I'm asking for so much of money because I deserve it, or if it is my product that I want to sell, I know I can sell it because it's worth it. But for that, we need to consider a lot of things when it comes to sales. Okay. But before I go ahead, I want all of you to type yes if you are facing these issues. Okay. I'm going to address the issues, and I want you to type yes in the chat option. All right. So you think a lot before calling someone for the first time. You are about to give a call, but then you're like, हाँ मैं करता हूँ, मैं इस तरीके से opening करूँगा, मैं इस तरीके से बात करूँगा. If you're going to talk to somebody for the first time, you think a lot before giving it a call. Okay. Type yes if you are not able to stretch the conversation with a new person. So you are a person who is to the point. You're not stretching the conversation a lot. You're like, हाँ ठीक है, बात करी, to the point बात करी, खत्म करी, phone रख दिया. That kind of a person you are. Type yes. Okay. Type yes if you do not respond, if people do not respond to you after your first reaction, after your first interaction. So you had your first interaction, you had your first call, that was your sales call, you introduced your product, you told them about everything, and after that, they did not respond to you. You had your first call of interview, you spoke to them about everything, but after that, they did not call you. And there are possibilities that they have shown more interest in you. There are possibilities that they were like, हाँ, बात तो सही कर रहे हो, ठीक है, we will do that. But they never get back to you. That is happening to you. Type yes if despite of all your efforts, you're not able to get the results. And it does not matter in which field you are. You are not able to get promotions. You're not able to get a new opportunity. You are not able to close the deal with a client. You are not able to sell your product. You are not able to sell someone else's product. You're just not getting the results. But you are putting all your efforts. You have tried everything. So you have talked to your senior management. You have asked them for suggestions. You have taken advice from your mentors. You have asked everybody how you can improve. And still you're not getting results. Okay. All these things will be covered one by one throughout the session. But before that, I want you to get your basics clear about sales. Okay. What is sales all about? And again, I'm saying this again and again because I want every one of you to relate with the topic. Sales is selling anything and everything in our day-to-day life. And we are doing it. When we are trying to convince somebody, we are trying to sell. When we are trying to sell our skills, when we are giving the interviews, we are selling. When we meet somebody for the first time in a social event, we are actually selling our skills. It starts from the very first interaction itself. Okay. But to actually sell, the most important thing is having faith in your product. Now, that product can be you. That product can be someone else's product that, you're a company you're working for, or that can be the service that you are providing. Okay. So the skills that I have, the products that I have around, the most important thing is I need to have faith in that product itself. I need to be sure मैं अगर यूज करने पे आती हूँ तो मैं कर सकती हूँ. I know that this product is going to solve so many problems. If I do not have that faith in the product, I will not be able to sell it, no matter what. Okay. Now, talking about your introduction, it's really very important for you to be an individual who has, who is telling each and everything in the introduction which matters, not just everything around, but something that really matters. That is what you're supposed to talk about in your introduction, which I will be telling you further. And at the same time, you are calling to the person for help and you are not calling them to request. This is something which we relate with the mindset. When it comes to sales, you are not requesting them to buy your product. You are making them understand that how you can help them. So आपका upper hand होना चाहिए हमेशा. The first call which we make, most of the time people get hesitant. People think कि यार हम उनसे कैसे बोलेंगे कि खरीद लो हमारा product and this and that. You feel like हम लोग lower उसमें आ रहे हैं category में, wherein we are trying to reach out to someone else, but that is not the case. If we think from this perspective, we'll not be able to close. If we want to close, we have to consider that I'm calling to help. If you take this help, it will be beneficial for you. Consider from this perspective, and it is going to help you a lot. All right. Now let's understand the journey of a conversion. I hope all of us are on the same page right now. Are we clear? Till now, whatever I've talked about, please type yes over here. Cool. So now let's understand. We have the basics clear for the sales. Now let's understand the journey of a conversion. Okay. Now the conversion starts from cold, warm to hot. I think most of you must be knowing it. And for those who don't know about it, I'll just tell you, cold lead is somebody who do not know anything about your product. Now, cold calling or cold lead does not mean exactly that you reach out to someone, let's say it's just a call. आपके पास एक sheet है जो आपके पास Excel sheet आ जाती है जिसमें बहुत सारे numbers होते हैं, and you are randomly calling them. They're not exactly cold. They are cold callings, but exactly not a cold lead. They know about you already from somewhere. They must have seen your advertisement. They must have seen your message, your call, your videos. Something must have been there. That was the cold lead. Okay? That was the first point of contact where they had no idea, and they still have no idea. Even after after watching your videos, after watching your, reading your messages and everything, even after that, they're not clear about your product. So they're still the cold lead. And that is why when you're calling them, that's a cold call. Okay. Now, when you have given a lot of touches to them, let's say, for example, I do these webinars. Okay. So when I do these webinars, I run certain ads, right? So these ads go to people who have done certain search on job search and everything, right? So this ad will automatically be visible on their social media profiles or their emails or something like that. Not their emails, so at least their social media profiles. Now, in the social media profile, they registered for this webinar. They found it interesting, so they registered, but they are still not aware कि क्या चल रहा है. ठीक है? When they registered, they gave their email IDs to me. Now, I have sending them mails for the webinar. Okay? Still, they are the cold leads. They are still the cold leads. Okay? They are seeing कि हाँ ठीक है, चल रहा है, एक webinar है. And I can take this example also, the session that I'm doing right now. For you guys also, you don't know me, right? You don't know me from the very beginning. You just came here. You saw the thing, okay, this session is happening, and you just joined the session, right? Similarly, the process is happening. Now that I have, spoken to you, I have had interaction with you, or I have had interaction in the webinar. I have delivered the knowledge, information, and I have made them understand about my product, okay? Then that particular lead becomes warm. They know, okay? Now, in the webinar itself, I ask them to give their numbers. Now, when they are giving their numbers, they are the warm leads. They are interested in my product. When I call them and I have a conversation with them, when I make them understand each and everything in terms of their problems, the problems that they are facing, and how I am going to solve their problem, I make them understand the whole process. After that, they say, oh, yes, I would love to do it. But you know what? I don't have money. I don't have time. I have so many objections in my life. Okay. So what is happening here? Now they are the hot leads, but they are having objections. And the final stage comes when we have to eliminate their objections. Getting my point? I really so much want to open my video, but there's a network issue. So I just want to see all of your faces. Yeah. Okay, so understanding the journey of the conversion, it's important to understand the requirement and the situation, the stage where a lead is. Now, I hope lead you understand, right? A person, a customer that we are talking about. So that customer, वो अभी किस position पे है, कौन सी situation पे है, whether it's cold, warm or hot, accordingly we are supposed to handle them. Okay, right? Now, the first step is cold calls. Okay? Cold call is the first step where we are reaching out to them, understanding that the cold lead can be from anywhere, the message, mails, and everything. But having said that, probabilities of sales increases by 50% if we use the right methods of cold calling. If we understand what is heard of cold calling, the probabilities increases by 50%, which is the fact. Actually, I'm stating a fact here. And if you understand, like right now, the methods that I'm going to tell you, if you start applying it, you will start looking at the results by your own self also. Now, as I said, cold calling is not always a cold lead. They know somewhere about you, and to maintain that relationship, it takes a lot of number of calls or number of visibilities, the number of touches are required to make sure that this conversion is for sure going to happen. Okay. And it takes a lot of hard work to do that. I'm telling you, I'm sure all of you who are in sales, you understand this thing, that when you have to close a client, they take a lot of effort, and we have to put in that effort in the right direction. And that is the reason we identify qualified cold leads. We have to identify. Why we have to identify? So that we are able to prioritize them in the right manner. If we are not prioritizing the cold leads, if we are not making our own priorities clear, it will be difficult for us to get the closure. Okay? So how do we qualify any lead? कि ये lead सही है या नहीं है, इस पे हमें कितने efforts डालने हैं, ये कितने efforts के लायक है, नहीं है, everything we have to consider. All right. So what are the things? First, do not randomly start calling people. Just make sure you're not just picking up the phone and you are randomly calling everyone. आपके पास एक list आई और आपने calling करना शुरू कर दिया. Please ऐसे मत करना. That is not going to help you a lot. In fact, that is only going to help you in wasting your time. All right. Now, do not buy leads. How many of you over here buy leads? How many of you over here are buying leads? Please type yes. Okay. And is it helpful? Is it helpful buying the leads? So I'll give you one example. So I was working with one of the institutions. Okay, that was an engineering college. And they used to buy the leads from these shiksha.com and studies ke portals jo rehte hain, eutranchal.com, something like that. They used to buy leads from these portals. Okay, so all the people, all the students who were searching for jobs and searching for colleges, they used to type in the forms and give their leads. Now these leads were sold to the colleges. Just take an example. Now, let's say they buy 1,000 leads. 1,000 leads they buy, and let's say they give 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees for that, whatever. Okay? And they're able to close just 2 students. They can easily cover the cost, right? So that's what they are doing. But at the same time, out of 1,000 leads, they're just able to close 2 because they are not the relevant students. They are not the relevant leads. At times, people don't even fill in their honest, numbers. Now, when I am directly selling my product to the customers and not buying the leads, but generating the leads by myself, by the name of my product. Without leads, how to get the contacts, as in your example, contact number of students. So as I said, if you want to generate leads, you generate leads, you don't buy leads. There's a difference. Buying lead from irrelevant platform will not help you. Generating leads by creating awareness of your own product will help you. That will give you authentic leads. If I am doing a webinar, if I am giving value, that is my honest lead generation that is happening. Right now, if I am speaking to you, all the people who are attending my session, okay, these are all the people that I have. I have the leads here, right? Now, you know me. If I reach out to you again, that will make sense. If I give your details to the fourth or fifth person, do you think you would even be interested to listen to that person? So it doesn't make sense, right? So that is the difference that comes if you are generating a lead or if you are buying a lead. Don't buy, just generate. All right. Now, so talking about B2C sales approach, let's just understand one thing. The focus is on the masses. Okay, when we are talking about B2C, we try to reach out to people through social media or physical events. Wherever we can find the masses, we try to reach out to them. Okay, and most of the time BTL, if a lot of people don't know about it, BTL is below the line activities that we do. And in these activations, we try to generate leads by directly giving information to the customers and then trying to make them understand about the product, and we generate leads from there. So these are the authentic leads most of the time that we are able to generate because we are directly telling them about the product. Okay, then when we talk about B2B sales approach, when we are reaching out to customers, we are trying to have a proper research before we are trying to reach out to the customers. So let's say अगर मैं B2C की बात कर रही हूँ, मेरे पास लीड्स आई है थ्रू सोशल मीडिया एंड एवरीथिंग, ये वो लीड्स है जिनको पता है, थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया है प्रोडक्ट का. They have either seen you, they have heard about you, all these things are there. And when we talk about B2B, even if they wouldn't have seen us or heard about us, we know a good background about them. So we have done our research. We have, used LinkedIn for that. We have sent them mails earlier. We have done our proper market research on their online portals, their websites and everything. We have gone across the things, done our homework, and then we approach when we are having a cold call. So that is a difference, how we actually qualify. We make them, we understand ki, acha, this type of a customer is there. This is how we are going to do the research about our, for the background that we know. Now, be sure of the following things before you make the cold call. Okay? I want you to consider these things before you are going to make any cold call. The first thing is know their background, at least what profession they are in, whether they have the paying capacity or not. Whether to be honest, वैसे तो paying capacity ज़्यादा नहीं देखी जाती है. उसका reason ये है, if the customer is interested, they will buy anyways. But yes, their profession, their lifestyle, all those things will make you understand whether they would be interested in your product or not. Okay? One is this thing. And then the second thing is, you need to know how you can help them. If you do not know how you can help them, it would be difficult for you to actually stretch the conversation. The reason why we are not able to, stretch the conversation is this. हमें पता नहीं है हमें exactly उनकी help कैसे करनी है. हमें सिर्फ अपने product के बारे में पता है. हमने अपने product के बारे में सारी information दे दी, सब कुछ बता दिया. And then we are like, ठीक है, बताइए आप कब खरीदने वाले हैं. It won't help. You need to tell them that which problem exactly you are going to solve. And then it will help them to have a conversation with you. If you are not having a conversation, and if you are, and this goes for interviews as well, it's almost the same thing. So if, let's say, if you give an interview and you're having a conversation with somebody, but it's not a conversation exactly, it's more of one-sided interaction that is happening. आप ही आप बात करते जा रहे हो, आपने ही सारी information दे दी, आपने सब कुछ बता दिया, but they're like, हाँ, okay, एक दो question पूछा और आपको भेज दिया. So you know what are the chances that you're going to be selected. Same goes for the sales aspect also. If You are just giving them the information and customer is only saying हाँ हाँ ठीक है, अच्छा ठीक है मैं देख के बताता हूँ, हाँ ठीक है. So you understand they are not going to take action. So you need to make sure that you are having a conversation from the aspect that you are able to help them. Okay. The next thing is that what are they already doing to solve their problem? That is something you need to know. Let's say you are talking to the person for the first time. You don't know much about the background. You just have a tiny bit of an idea, but you don't know exactly what are they doing or what product they are currently using. At that point of time, you have to ask such questions to understand कि वो अभी currently क्या कर रहे हैं to solve their problem, whatever the problem is. ठीक है? You need to make them understand. For example, let's say if I talk about my product only, because I am doing it right now, so I'll talk about it. So if you understand what they are, already doing to solve the problem, you will understand how you can extend the conversation. For example, if somebody is looking for a job but not able to crack an interview, or they are just facing, they are saying, I have a perfect resume, I'm getting the response from the companies, I'm getting my interviews lined up, but I am not able to close any of the interviews. I don't know why in the final round I'm getting rejected. So that is the problem that they are facing. Now, what are they doing to solve this problem? I will ask that question so that I will be able to understand how will I fit in with my product to help them. Okay, so it's important to have that level of interaction with an individual, and considering that on the first call, nobody is opening up that easily. Yes, as Udit just said, that people do not open up their problems, right? Asking the right questions is the strategy to actually make them speak. Like right now, if I am having a conversation with you, you are able to share your problems with me, right? You are able to tell me these are the things that are happening. Why? Because I have given you value. I know that I am here to build that trust, or I am there to, share value only. So there's a difference when we are opening. So इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं. The reason why we don't open up with a new person, क्योंकि you directly bombard them with irrelevant questions. The moment you will start having the conversation, they will open up. हाँ 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 सही बोल रहे हो. हाँ अरे ऐसा ही होता है यार. At times, let's say people are not sharing their problems with me. I call somebody and I said, okay, fine, I could see that you're looking for a job, so how is it going? So they'll just share ki acha theek hai, yeah, I'm looking for a job, and I'll see, okay, so how many interviews have you given? So then dheere dheere coming to the point where, okay, are you also facing a problem wherein people are not like in the interviews, they are like not really responsive to your answers and they just skip to the next question? Yeah, that is actually happening. So you trigger them with certain questions, you trigger them with certain points which will make them say yes. I will come to that point also. Okay, so there are a lot of strategies which are used to help you become more open up with your customers, with your leads that you are talking to. Okay, how do I stop this? Done. Now, how much do they know about your product? That is also something which is really important. Understanding, let's say, so I used to say this thing a lot. When you are introducing your product to any individual, okay, just make sure you are not giving all the information and at the same time giving them all the information. What does that mean? Like, my product is talking about a lot of things, okay? But I know that this is the problem that this person is facing. Salary negotiation is the problem that the person is facing. I will majorly focus upon that. And apart from that, then I will add on. Apart from that, this is also you will be working upon. Okay? Yes, I will be talking about follow-up as well. Don't worry. I'll be talking about all these things. Okay? So right now, the main thing is, अभी अगर मैं किसी को अपने बारे में बता रही हूँ या किसी प्रोडक्ट के बारे में बता रही हूँ, तो it's very important for me to give first the relevant information and then rest of the information. That should be the sequence. It shouldn't be like I am missing out on the bonuses, I'm missing out on the benefits that they are going to get. I will tell everything and everything, but not at one go. I will first focus upon the areas जो major उनका problem है, उसकी information दूंगी. Along with that, these are also the things which you have to, like, which you will be getting. ठीक है? Now, just understanding, you have qualified the leads, right? You have understood, okay, these are the leads, and this is the way I'm going to approach to them. Okay. Now, how are you going to nurture these leads? How are you going to nurture these leads? It's very important because the average number of contact that is required to take one lead from being cold to warm is somewhere around 7 to 10 touches. In fact, at times it's more than that. Okay. Now, when I talk about touches, what does that mean? Touches does not really mean that you have to call them all the time. Okay? You don't have to call them 7 to 10 times if it is a cold lead. Okay? You send them the follow-up messages, mails, you just drop in somewhere, you just share the testimonials with them. You can do several different things. If I have to talk about it, let's take it this way. You can write it down as well. First step is, let's say they saw a post of yours somewhere on social media. Okay? Second is, you reached out to their profile, you texted them, or you have commented on one of their posts that they have posted. That is one of the ways that you do, like that you become visible in front of them. Then the third is when you directly message them. Hi, I saw your work. It is really amazing. You're doing really good. I would like to talk about this. Okay? Then you extend the conversation. Then you'll see how is he or she responding. So then they might have a short call with you. Okay? After a small introduction and everything, they might respond to you. And if they are not responding to you, then you again be engaged with their content, just be visible in front of them here and there. And then when you get a final chance to speak to them, even then they do not convert into your warm customer. They are still cold. They are still like listening to you. ठीक है. देखते हैं, बात करते हैं. They will be like this. ठीक है? So that is still cold. But again, after your first conversation, you drop in the message, a thank you message to them. Okay? It was great speaking to you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to have a collaboration with you. Something of those sorts. Okay? So what is happening? Somewhere around 5-6, I've already told you what are the things that you reach out with. Then let's say it's been a week, that person did not respond to you. Again, you drop them a mail. Okay? You can 1 week or 2 weeks, that's completely understood, as per your company or as per your industry norms. You understand the situation and accordingly you keep on sending them messages, just making sure that you're not calling them again and again. You can call them maybe after 1 or 2 weeks. That's okay. Give them some time and space. And also making sure that there are possibilities that they are genuinely busy. So don't just think कि अरे यार अभी वो response नहीं दे रहा है, छोड़ो किसी और बात करते हैं. First of all, you do not focus upon just one person at a time. You have to have n number of people being contacted to. At least you reach out to, I suggest you reach out to at least 30 to 40 people in a day. Depending upon the product that you have, completely depends upon the product and the information that you give, the average call that you have, the average efforts that you are putting in. Sometimes, to close a deal, it's just a matter of one message. Let's say, I had a call with a customer. We spoke for somewhere around 40 minutes. We spoke for 40 minutes and it wasn't a closure. I felt like, it went in vain. He wants to enroll. He is a hot customer, but he's still not taking action. What should I do? I dropped him a message. Okay, I was looking forward for your registration. When are you planning to do it? And he did it on the spot. Maybe he was genuinely busy. He genuinely forgot. And then, when I reminded him just by one message, he came back. So it's important for us. We do not consider just a call to be a reminder call. There were times that, we had events and we used to invite people from different locations. When they did not enroll, we used to share testimonials with them, success stories, the latest value videos, whatever information that we have, the achievements that we had. We just keep on sharing those things with them. We don't really have to directly sell them. Just keep on nurturing them. Okay. Now, trust is a major objection why a customer do not buy from you, right? Am I right? Type yes over there. Am I right? Major reason. Paisa is not the reason. Time is not the reason. Nothing is the reason. The only reason is they do not trust you enough to invest upon you. Paisa is never a reason. If you ask them, if they trust you, they'll pay you in lakhs. If they don't trust you, they'll not pay you 100 rupees also. That's the fact. And that trust factor is something that we need to work upon from the first call itself. We need to understand this. फर्स्ट कॉल ही ऐसी होती है, वो मोमेंट होता है जहां पे हमें ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना शुरू करना होता है. If I do not trust you, obviously I'll not open up and I'll be like, yeah, I know, yeah, but I am not really interested. Can you just call me back later? Right now I'm busy. Something of those sorts they'll say, and they'll just try to disconnect. Some people are really sweet, they don't want to be rude, so they'll be like, oh yeah, right, okay, can I just call you back? I will definitely call you back. But then they will never call you back, right? So this happens, and this will keep on happening if we do not learn how to trust, how to build the trust. Okay. Now, if let's say a person has all the money, all the time, they are not investing upon you because they do not trust you, visibility is something that you are going to work upon. Once you work upon your visibility, it is the most important factor that can help you build the trust. How? Now just consider, every day there is a new brand that is coming up, right? There are so many brands out there in every industry. There are so many things, right? Right? Now just consider this. If a product is coming up, they say, okay, you know what, we are doing this, and we have just started doing this. We would like you to invest this money in this product. Would they be really interested until they see you again and again and again everywhere? When they have this faith, यार ये कहीं नहीं जा रहे, ये यहीं पर है, कोई बात नहीं, कर देते हैं इन्वेस्ट, तब दिक्कत नहीं आती है, तब it gets easier. But if they see कि अरे यार, all of a sudden randomly a new brand is coming up, let's say a car is coming, new car, but we don't want car bhi chodo, अरे you just take the vaccines only. A very good example that you can take is vaccine. Now people were not taking it. People were not taking it until they saw, अच्छा तो ठीक है, अच्छा सब लोग ठीक है, अच्छा अब हम लगा लेते हैं. It's just a vague example that I'm giving you, but that is a fact. That is the mentality of any customer of for any product. You know, they want to see the results first, and then they want to buy from you. They want to see how you are doing in the market already, and then they will support you. It's just like our family members. It's like anything. It's the rule. So your responsibility is to be visible. Okay, you need to give them the sense of security. You need to show them that yes, you are there, you are never going to leave their side, you will help them solve their problem no matter what. So what, as I said, you have to be present everywhere. Wherever they see, you have to be present. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, emails, messages, WhatsApp, offline if possible, hoardings, banners, LEDs, whatever, wherever you can possibly be there, you just be there, okay, in front of people, just to make sure that yes, I am there. I'm going to make sure that I'll take care. For example, let's take an example of one second, Byju's. Now when they came in, they were like, they were new, people were afraid to invest, but when they did so much of branding, so much of visibility was there, then gradually people started trusting for any other brand, anything, any individual, any brand, any product. This is the case. Okay. Is there any right time to do cold callings, as most people don't pick up at the first attempt? Okay, I'll give you one example. So what we used to do is we used to run ads, right? We used to do webinars. When we did webinars, after that, there was an email sequence that used to run. Okay. When the email campaign is running, हमारे मेल जाते थे सुबह के 8 बजे से रात के 11 बजे तक. रात के 11 बजे के बाद जब जैसे मेल हो जाता था, 12-1 बजे तक हम लोग जगे रहते थे, ठीक है. And we could see who is opening up the mails. And at 1:30 around, we saw somebody opening the mail. ठीक है, रात को 1:30 somebody opened up the mail. And okay, looking at each other, we were like, okay, let's make this call. We called that person at night at 1:30 a.m. We called him. He was wide awake because he had a night shift. He had a conversation and he enrolled at night itself. So instead of making assumptions that when they would be available, it's better we see the probabilities. When it makes sense to you, just give them a call. The best way to open up your line in this case is not like this. Okay, is it a good time to talk? No, never ever say that. Is it a good time to talk? What I used to do was, okay, I knew I'm not calling them at the good hour. Okay, after 11, it was like, okay, they might get mad also at me, but I opened up with the line saying, okay, I'm really sorry to call you at this hour, but because we have the deadline and I saw that you just click on the mail, I just wanted to check with you, is there any trouble you are facing while enrolling to the program? What would that person say? Most of the objections are cleared in the first call itself. Anything that he could pick and he could say, अरे क्यों कॉल कर दिया ये और वो, मैंने पहले ही सारी चीजें क्लियर कर दी बिना apologize करे. I did not apologize as well, right? So what is happening here? You just need to learn how to open up with the right lines so that you do not, like, you know, you are basically, the other person is not able to come up with any objection. That is the main thing. Okay? If they do not pick at one go, call them again on the spot. 2 बार कॉल कर दो एक बंदे को. मेरे को पता नहीं थी ये चीज. I'll tell you my example. So I did not know that I was supposed to, you know, call them twice and this and that, because phone नहीं उठाया. Second time when I called this person, he said, okay, I thought this was a company number because it was a spam. So because I was into sales, my number got into spam. So they said, okay, I thought that it's spam. So that's why I wasn't picking up the call. So I said, I did not know that my number shows in spam in Truecaller. But then when we had a conversation, he said, you know, I'm not really interested to enroll right now. I'll see later, this and that. He was making excuses. I said, it's fine. Don't enroll right now. Because it's the last day, I do not want you to miss on the opportunity without knowing about it. So just know about it. And then, of course, it's your call. He got to know about the product and he enrolled on the spot. So, you know, these stories that I'm talking about, it just made me more confident that sales is not something like, you know, we analyze so much about all these things. These are not really the issues. The real issues are something else that I am just going to talk about. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Truecaller wala problem. Now just send them WhatsApp messages and everything. That's better. If they're not picking up the call, give them a call on WhatsApp or something. So just to make a personal touch, they'll understand. Okay, this is not a spam. And my suggestion is, when you start getting spams of more than let's say, kitna? We had actually, I had more than 100 spam on my number. So it's better that you change the number at times if that is happening. Now, share testimonials of your success stories as much as you can. If you do not have the recorded version, make them write and send them in the WhatsApp and everything. There is this platform called, let me just share it with everyone. I am sure you must be knowing about it. Trustpilot. This is the platform for testimonials and everything of your clients. So if you have success stories, just share the link of Trustpilot with them, and you know, any platform where you collect the testimonials, share that with them. Okay, this is the recent review that we have got. This is the recent success story that we have had. This is the result that our client was able to get. Or start making videos. If video testimonials are there, that's the best. But if it is not, this is a good platform to go for. Okay? Now, the next is share value and information about your industry. do not just keep on talking about your product. Don't just say, बोलोगे आप अपने प्रोडक्ट के ही बारे में, लेकिन इस तरीके से बोलोगे that it will feel कि okay, they are providing you value, like you are providing them value. It's more about sharing information, facts, figures, and then telling them that how you can help them with all these facts and figures and everything. Okay, that is very important. And then show them the right path. Of course, एक होता है sales calls, एक होता है guidance calls. Guidance calls होता है, that is something that helps you close the sale. Okay, अगर आपको डील क्लोज करनी है तो उनको एक गाइडेंस कॉल की तरह कॉल करना शुरू करो, ना कि सेल्स कॉल की तरह, ठीक है. एंड देन लेट देम नो दैट यू कैन लीड देम टू द पाथ, with your support and everything. They can be there where they really want to be. So what I try to talk about is more of like, this is where you are and this is where you want to be. The bridge that is there, I will be helping you fill that bridge. I'll be helping you cross that bridge and helping you solve the problems that you're facing in this way. Helping them visualizing what they really want to achieve is the best way. Helping them visualize, okay, you know what, if you want to be this is what you will have to do, and this is how I'm going to help you do that. Okay. Now, problem faced in cold calling. Most of the time, the people who face problem in cold callings are hesitations. Now, type yes over here if you are an individual already facing the problem of hesitation, like to give a call to somebody who is new. You are just hesitant to pick up the phone and give them a call. I told you, बहुत ही ज़्यादा. And it also happens if you are in sales, in particularly sales, you become bored. You're like, you don't want to pick up the call. After some time, you're like, you don't want to talk to new people. Yeah, I am done with that. I don't want to. So if you want a new opportunity, also, if you want a client, but you don't really want to put in that effort to speak to unknown people and get the rejection. अरे यार मना कर देगा ये फिर से, क्या फायदा है, कोई फायदा नहीं है कॉल करने का. And then you start hesitating. You start thinking, क्या यार ऐसा हो गया तो, वैसा हो गया तो. A lot of things are there because of which we start hesitating. One problem is this. Now the best trick to follow, which I actually follow, is that I do not think twice before making a call. And that's what I do. Like, what I prefer doing is, okay, I have to, let's say, I have to close a deal, I have to call somebody. ठीक है, phone उठाओ, घुमा दो, बाकी की बाद में देखेंगे. That's what I started doing. Why? Because before calling somebody, what I used to think was, अगर मैंने फोन किया, वो फोन उठाएगा, मैं क्या बोलूंगी, अच्छा मैं ये बोलूंगी, और उसने मना कर दिया, फिर मैं क्या करूंगी, अच्छा मैं ये ट्राई कर सकती हूँ, मैं वो ट्राई करूँ. मतलब इतनी सारी चीजें हो जाती है सोचने के लिए that I would just be thinking about the call rather than making that call. So it's better you start picking up the calls, you start picking up your phones and just dial the number and talk directly, and then see whatever happens, impromptu. And to be honest, if you would have noticed, your impromptu conversations would be much better than the actual prepared conversation. कि अच्छा, I'll talk about this, I'll talk about that. आधे से ज़्यादा चीजें तो हम भूल ही जाते हैं बात करने के लिए, और on the spot जो होता है वो चीज handle हो नहीं पाती है उसके बाद. So it's better that we do not prepare, we give our best in the call itself. So don't think twice, just pick up the phone. ठीक है? Lose the confidence in the opening line itself. How many of you currently feel that when you open up, when you start your opening line, the first line itself is not that impactful? How many of you feel like, okay, मैंने अपना introduction तो दे दिया, बस उसके बाद, hi, I am Aditi Sharma, I am calling from this, and then I just want to know, is it a good time to talk? Mostly this is how people start. This is how it goes most of the time. Or maybe we'll say something that is not the right question to be asked. And that is where we lose the confidence. Why? Because The reason why it happens is because हमें सामने से वो response ही नहीं आता है जो हम expect करते हैं. Most of the time we do not get the response that we are looking for, and then we get demotivated. So कितने भी enthusiasm के साथ हम call करेंगे, hi, how are you, this and that, and then I'll be like, okay, he'll be like, हाँ बोलिए, अब आप क्या बोलेंगे? So it happens. There is a lot of hesitation, and the preparation that we make is not really that impactful. That is one of the troubles that we face. Not able to build their interest in the conversation. How many of you are facing this problem? Trust की भी बात नहीं है, interest की बात है. Interest नहीं build कर पाते in the conversation that we are having. हाँ. So that person is like, बात तो कर रहे हैं, पर आपको खुद से समझ में आ रहा है कि ये इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है बात करने के लिए. हम पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन दिए पड़े हैं, बट हमें समझ में आ रहा है ये इसको इंटरेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है यार बात करने में, अब कैसे खींचे कैसे. So there are two things. One, you are genuinely like a boring person, or two, maybe you are anticipating it. Maybe it's not true. Maybe they are interested, but you are afraid, and that is why it's happening. English or regional language, what's the better, your opinion? The language that the person understands, that's most important. If you do not know their regional language, obviously you can't. Okay, but the most important thing is you are talking in a language that they understand. अब क्या होता है हमारे साइड में, that in my industry I would say, when I give a call to somebody, if I talk to someone, and my opening, because I am into communication and education, so I have to start with English. That's because the industry norm is. So I start with English conversation. Okay, so hi, how are you, this and that. Now let's say the person says, हाँ जी बोलिए क्या काम है. Then I would come to Hindi directly without bragging about my English and stuff. I would directly come to हिंदी, क्योंकि मुझे ये देखना है सामने वाले बंदा किस लैंग्वेज में कंफर्टेबल है. ठीक है. So I have to make sure of it. If let's say I do not understand the other language, I would rather give it to somebody who knows the regional language, or I would speak in Hindi or whatever they are able to understand. That's the main thing. Okay. Now, one of the other problem that people face is rejection. If you are being rejected on the first call itself, let's say हमें दिन के 40 कॉल करने होते हैं, we have to make 40 calls, cold calls, and it is very easy to get demotivated. This is something I can I can vouch on. I know it. This happens. पहली या दूसरी कॉल पे ही सामने वाले बंदे ने इतने रूडली बात कर दी कि आपका मूड ही नहीं है आगे के कॉल्स करने का, क्योंकि इतना बुरा लगता है. You get so disheartened. You are like, अरे यार, how will I, मतलब अब मैं आगे क्या बात करूं, उसको भी पसंद नहीं आएगा तो क्या होगा. All these things, it does affect our performance. It affects our productivity. This has happened with me, so I can tell this. Yes, it is difficult to handle rejections, but at the same time, what helped me, or I would say the strategy that has helped me overcome this problem, is that I make a target. Okay, so this is the best strategy that if I have followed, I know that I get results. So what I do is I take up, let's say 40 numbers are there. 10 calls I am going to make them back to back. Picking up, not picking up, rejecting the call, not answering properly, having a good conversation, whatever, no matter what, 10 calls back to back I will make. And then I'll take a break of 10-15 minutes. And then I'll again call to next 10 people. Okay. And then continuous calls होने चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारा momentum ही third, fourth call पे बनता है. Problem क्या आती है when we are calling? In calling, हम बहुत जल्दी distract हो जाते हैं. कभी किसी के पास जाके बैठ जाएंगे, कभी खाने पीने लग जाएंगे, कभी सोचा अच्छा हाँ ठीक है कॉल करते हैं, फिर Instagram खोल के बैठ गए. Honestly, you are not productive when you are calling. You are not at all productive. You call as per your own willingness. अच्छा हाँ ठीक है इतना हो रहा है, इतना कर लेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. If you do it the way that I've told you, just 10 calls in a continuous row, ठीक है, टक 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 टक, कुछ भी बात हो, अगर नहीं भी फोन उठाता है बंदा तो भी करके 10 calls छुट्टी करो. You will feel that you have become more productive you will realize that your calls are actually getting converted. Why? Because आपका conversation का flow बन जाता है. When you get into the flow of having that conversation, it is more interesting, and you are also more interested to explain about the product and everything. वरना आपका खुद का flow नहीं बनता है. ठीक है? One is this. Now, not able to leave any scope of follow-up. ये बहुत होता है. How many of you face this problem? What happens? You call them, and they'll be like, I'm not interested. And you will be like, okay, fine. And rak diya phone. Bas khatam baat. Okay, you know what? You are right, but I don't have money. I'm sorry. I cannot enroll. So you don't call them again. You give them a call. Okay, so they ask you, अच्छा अभी नहीं हम बाद में बात कर सकते हैं क्या? Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Phone रख दिया. फिर we do not call them. People do not pick up the calls. You do not call them back. Follow-up का scope हम अपने लिए ही नहीं छोड़ते. There is no follow-up that is happening. Understanding one thing, either you get blocked or you get you sell the product. Either of the two things are happening. That is what actual sales is about. But that does not mean that you have to do it on the first call itself. Think about it. Your first call, okay? I am talking about the first call. You do not sell them on the first call itself, but you close them on the first call. Whether that person don't want to buy your product, it's like you decided in the first call. You are deciding, not them. We have to give them that scope. I will give you one real-time example. So there was this person who attended the webinar, and I saw that he clicked on the mail, okay, on the link that we have given, but he did not share his number, nothing. He just clicked on the mail. So we called him and we said, I could see that you have clicked on the link to enroll, but you haven't enrolled. So is there any problem that you're facing? Any trouble while enrolling? No, I am not interested. Okay, fine. But what do you do professionally? Okay, this is what I do. Okay, fine. And then I kept on having a conversation with him. Okay. Now, after this conversation, by the end of this conversation, what did he say? He said, to be honest, I am not really interested. No, I don't want to enroll. Then I said one thing to him. I said, okay, you know what? You have been facing these problems since past these months. And this is a solution to your problem. You do not want to take action about this and you want to continue facing this problem. That is how you want to go about it with this particular situation. I wonder, how do you actually go through the major problems that you face in your life? Harsh reality. I had to say this to him. Okay. Because after having a conversation of more than 30 minutes with him, he was still convinced. He told me everything. Just imagine, he told me everything about his problems, but he did not enroll. Okay. He said, "Nahin, I don't want to." I said, "It's fine. I just want to make sure that you think about it." That's it. Okay. This was my first call with him. I did not close him. Okay, fine. You don't want to enroll? Bye. ऐसे close नहीं करना है. You have to make sure you hit them with the harsh realities, you give the proper details about the product, and then you leave them up to, you leave it up to them. ठीक है, आगे you decide. You do your responsibility, no? You did that. That is how you leave it for the follow-up. But what happened in this case was, after around 1 or 2 hours, he called my team member and he said, "I want to enroll." And I was like, what is wrong? Thank God I don't have incentive thing over here. Otherwise, I would be like, "Meri sale udhar chali gayi." But actual mein yahi hua that he did not enroll from my end. He did take the action. But खुद से कॉल करके उसने enroll किसी और को कॉल करके किया. Because of course, sometimes, when we say the harsh realities, लोगों की ego भी hurt हो जाती है, बहुत सारी चीजें. But reality तो hit करती है ना, और वो result आपको मिलता है. And result is what matters the most, right? So just make sure Whenever you have a conversation, you don't just close it on the spot. Avi, could you tell me what kind of a problem do you face when you are not able to leave it, for the closure? I would like you to either share it like in the chat, that would be better. Like follow up के लिए आप scope नहीं रह पाती है ना, you said. Then I would like you to share your experience, exactly what happens. ठीक है? Now, the next thing is mistakes that people usually make. So some problems which people face, that is in general the problems which we are facing. But then there are certain mistakes that we are making without even knowing about it. Okay. So the opening line is really very, very, very important. Okay. Considering हमारी opening line क्या होती है? Hi, I am Aditi and I am calling from EduBridge. I just wanted to check if you have few minutes. Can we talk? No, I can't. I'm busy. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody will give you permission to say, yeah, please. What do you want to say? Nobody is interested. Okay. Never ask for permission, especially to talk. That's not the opening line that you should have. If you use it, just stop using it. Okay. Now, not able to relate with customers. A lot of times when we are having a conversation, we are not actually being relatable. I am talking about something and you are talking about something else. Let's say I start with my own program. If I say, okay, what are the problems that you are facing currently? So I am not able to get the desired job. I am getting a response from the companies. I am able to line up my interviews also, but I am not able to clear the interviews. Oh, you know what? It's really important for us to have a good resume in place. It's really important that when we are writing an email, we are writing an effective email. Is it relevant? His problem is not getting the companies lined up. His problem is to crack the interview. In the interview, he is facing the problem. If I talk about email writing and resume preparation and cover letter and stuff, it won't be relevant, right? So I have to relate with the real problem. Okay, so that means you are somewhere lagging in your behavioral interviews or your technical interviews. So where do you think you are having the problem? Then they'll be like, oh, my technical interviews are going good. I know that technically I am very sound, but I think I'm not able to showcase my skills really properly, and this and that. So that is a problem they are facing in the interview. Acha, theek hai. And if I start talking about, oh, you'll have to learn this course and you'll have to learn these softwares and this and that, it won't help. You just need to learn how to answer frequently asked questions. That is the relatable answer or relatable solution to the problem that they are facing, right? So it's important for us to be relevant to what they are talking about, to what basically the customer is looking for. But most of the time we are not. क्यों? क्योंकि हमें पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन देने में बहुत ज्यादा वो रहता है. हमें अपने प्रोग्राम, अपने प्रोडक्ट के बारे में पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन देनी है. सिर्फ इस चक्कर में हम सारी इंफॉर्मेशन दे ही नहीं पाते. I don't want you to face this same problem. All right. Now the next is not asking the right questions. So one thing that I learned, in my journey, I would say, or specifically in sales journey, asking the right questions is the most important thing. It actually started with my introspection, I would say. When I started doing self-analysis and I started understanding myself better, and I went into the journey of, just being in solitude and stuff, at that time, I started asking questions to myself, right questions to myself. And I got a lot of answers. And I realized that self-awareness का बहुत important role होता है in, like asking the right question का बहुत ज़्यादा important role होता है in self-awareness. So the same thing I started implementing in sales. When anybody wants to buy a product and still not able to take the decision, or when somebody is facing a problem but still are not aware that how to get the solution to their problem, the best way is asking the right questions. So I started asking them the questions. When I started asking them these questions, so automatically I started getting results also. क्योंकि वो लोग और रिलेट कर पाते थे और रिलेट कर पाते थे उसके बाद रिजल्ट्स आते रहते थे एंड आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट आई नेवर न्यू दैट आई एम गुड एट सेल्स आई डिड नॉट नो I thought that I'm not good at sales. I never wanted to do sales at the first place. But automatically, through the process of asking the right questions, it started hitting at the right place. When you ask harsh questions, sometimes it's important. For example, I'll give you another example. So there was this person I was talking to, and so he said कि about the program and everything, मेरे को अपनी communication improve करनी है, मैं ये काम करता हूँ but मैं बहुत ज़्यादा problem face कर रहा हूँ, मेरा promotion नहीं हो रहा है, this and that. उनको अपनी English communication पे work करना था. I said okay fine. I told him everything that he was supposed to do. We had a conversation of about 30-40 minutes. ठीक है. By the end he said ठीक है, मैं ना मैडम एक काम करता हूँ, मैं अपने दोस्त से पूछ के बताता हूँ. That was the time I got so angry. I cannot tell you. I had to say these things to him. So I said, okay, could you tell me कि आपके घर का खर्चा कौन चलाता है? आप या आपका दोस्त? He was like, मैं. I said, अच्छा नहीं, आपको जब लाइफ के मेजर क्राइसिस होते हैं तो वो हैंडल कौन करता है? आप करते हो, आपके दोस्त हैंडल करते हैं? आपकी फैमिली को कौन देखता है? आप देखते हो, आपके दोस्त देखते हैं? I had to ask him these questions. I had to make him realize, नहीं मैम आप बात तो सही कर रहे हो, मैं करता हूँ. And he did. And ये भी again बात है रात के 12 बजे की. So we have done all those things, dealing with such people, closing on very harsh notes at times, but just because I had faith in my product, I had faith in the solution that I was providing to them. That was the main thing. And then asking them questions which would make them realize कि अरे यार ये तो मैं फालतू के excuses बना रहा हूँ, जो कि लोग बनाते हैं. There are wives who want to buy products, but they are not able to take actions because they say that, my husband is there, I will have to ask him, he will be paying for it. Why will he be paying for it? How are you handling the household stuff? You are handling it. It's never that the wives don't have money. They do have it. I had to ask those questions to her. I had to, talk to her like this कि मुझे उनको harsh reality show करनी पड़ती थी. कई बार rude होना पड़ता था. Just to make sure that they understand and they don't make excuses because, and मैंने कई बार ये line भी use करी है that you're not making excuses to me. These are the excuses you're making for yourself because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. You have to say something sometimes like this. Can you please guide me? What should I do about what exactly? Work upon your English communication. That is a different topic altogether. Chiranjit, I don't think I'll be able to discuss about it right now. Maybe we can connect later about it, or maybe by the end of the session I might just add on a few points about English communication that we can work upon. Okay, so trying to sell in the first call itself is the biggest mistake that anybody makes. Okay, आप एक बारी समझ लीजिए, क्या मैं आपको लिंक सेंड कर दूं? अगर आपने नोटिस किया होगा, जब हम बहुत ज्यादा पुश करने लगते हैं क्लाइंट्स को ऑन द फर्स्ट कॉल इटसेल्फ, they are like very hesitant. And as I said, for a customer to go from cold to warm, it takes somewhere around 7 to 10 calls, touches. Now these touches, until these things happen, you cannot just sell them. Be there in front of them. Come se come, I would say 80 and above % of the calls get converted only after 7 to 8 touches. After that only you are actually able to convert any sale. Even if you go and meet a client, you have a conversation with them, you go in a meeting, you tell them about your product and everything. Okay, this is the scheme that I have. I would like you to just understand this, product and everything. They'll understand and they'll be like, okay, fine, we'll get back to you. That's it. Okay, you know what? Let's continue the conversation on mails. That is something you're not supposed to do. Okay? Now, not able to sell the product to themselves. Let's say whatever product you are using right now, okay, if you are supposed to buy this product, will you? And why will you? What is the problem that they are solving for you? If you are convinced by the product yourself, you will be able to sell. But most of the time when we are selling the product, you are not convinced to yourself. I remember I was working with one of the retail outlets, and at that time, I was very confident about that place. You know why? Because I love malls. I love malls. Like I can spend my whole days in malls itself. You know, I just love it. So I knew, जैसे चप्पा चप्पा बोलते हैं ना, एक एक जगह I knew each and everything. I knew how it can be sold, and till date I have that confidence. I know that I can sell it. But the other property that I went to, it was good, but it wasn't worthy. It did not have footfall. It did not have money. It had nothing actually. And I was just not convinced to sell that place. I was not able to convince the clients because I knew that अरे यार यहाँ पे audience तो आती नहीं है, तुम इतने लाखों लाखों रुपया दे दोगे, करोगे क्या यार, छोड़ो. मतलब मुझे अंदर से ये आवाज आती थी. I knew that I am not convinced with the property. I don't think that if a brand is going to come, market itself here, there are no footfalls. What are they going to do? What are they going to generate? And more importantly, जिस product का marketing होना था, मुझे तो उस product पे भी भरोसा नहीं था. You know, like when I was in mall, I went to brands like Skoda and Audi and all these automobiles, and then the colleges and different NGOs. We went to a lot of different organizations. Actually, the organizations used to come to us, the brands used to come to us for marketing and stuff. And I knew that I loved all those brands. I was like, हाँ बढ़िया है, क्यों नहीं? Definitely. And we had the footfall, we had everything. So I had that confidence, but here I did not, and I was not able to sell it. So I know it makes a huge difference. If I'm not able to sell it to myself, if I am not convinced, I will not be able to sell it further. That confidence I need to build. It's very important. Okay. Okay. Now, following a script is something that a lot of people face. How many of you over here follow a script while selling? Can you just type yes over here? How many of you face this thing, like, you know, you are following a script? Little problems in cold calling when customers sign up in multiple places. Let them sign up in a number of places. It does not matter where they are going. So what I am doing currently, I am helping people get placements, right? There are n number of organizations who are doing it. What should I do? Why should I even talk about them? I am going to provide you this. If you are getting something better from here, then go for it. If you are getting something better from somewhere else, go for it. I don't mind. The main thing is, I know that I am authentic. I know that I have that genuinity, as in I am personally there to guide you and support you. If you are getting that personal connection, if you are getting that personal support somewhere, go. Why not? Definitely. But I do not care about the competition. Every industry has competition. We do not care about competition. We care just about ourselves and what are we providing for you. That's it. And that is the most important aspect of any sales. You know, whenever I am selling any product, this is very important. हमें आके लोगों ने, इतने सारे लोगों ने इतना कुछ बोला कि you know, you are doing it, you are, you know, providing this only, we are getting this also there and this also there. ठीक है, करो. That is not a problem. After a while, when people join or, you know, become part of your product and they experience your product and they actually realize the difference, the kind of support that you provide, the kind of hospitality that you provide, the kind of services that you're providing, they don't want to go somewhere else. They just want to be in their comfort zone. So you make their comfort zone. That is the best thing to do. Now, if you are somebody who is following a script, I would request you not to. Be as genuine as you can, understanding one thing very clearly. Nowadays, everybody is samajhdar. Everybody has a sense of understanding about the product, about the market, about the value, about everything. Because of internet and everything, people are smart. Simple. They understand whether you are genuine or not, whether you are faking it or you are genuinely trying to help someone. That reality is there, and you will be able to relate with people when that is happening. So more you are going to script it, more you are going to mess it up, more you are going to be genuine and honest, more it will be clear for you. Yes, a lot of people who hesitate, उनको लगता है कि यार हमारे पास एक स्क्रिप्ट होनी चाहिए, हम इस लाइन में ही बात करेंगे, otherwise प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. That is one thing that a lot of people face, which is absolutely fine. Okay, but at the same time, how am I going to speak all those things that matters? For example, मैंने अभी आपको एक ओपनिंग लाइन का एग्जांपल दिया था, राइट? आई एम दिस एंड आई सॉ दैट यू हैव रजिस्टर्ड फॉर दिस वेबिनार एंड दिस. धीरे धीरे करके व्हेन आई एम हैविंग अ कन्वर्सेशन, थोड़ा सा स्क्रिप्टेड साउंड करेगा, थोड़ा सा ऐसा साउंड करेगा दैट हाँ ये पहले से ही है. बट एट द सेम टाइम हर किसी का टोन अलग होगा बात करने का, हर किसी का वे ऑफ टॉकिंग इज डिफरेंट, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट ओनली यू आंसर the questions, that according to that you make your scripts. But don't just इतना है, ये क्वेश्चन पूछा उसके बाद ये क्वेश्चन पूछा उसके बाद ये क्वेश्चन पूछा. I remember I was having a training session with one of my team members, and he asked me, मैम मैं ना इस तरीके से बात करता हूँ और मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि क्लोज क्यों नहीं हो रहा. मैंने कहा कैसे कैसे बात करते हैं? जो जो चीजें आप लोगों ने सिखाई हैं बस एग्जैक्टली उसी तरीके से बात करते हैं. हम ये बोलते हैं ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. I said, don't you think that it's getting too much on script, as in no matter what the answer is, मेरा next question तो यही होगा. That is the script. When no matter what the answer is coming. अच्छा, if you would have noticed, if you have given job interviews, you would have seen job interviews में जब आपसे questions पूछे जाते हैं तो वो क्वेश्चन बेस्ड होता है आपके आंसर पे. जो आप आंसर देते हो अगला क्वेश्चन उस आंसर पे बेस्ड होता है, राइट? अब पॉइंट ये है दैट अगर मैं लगातार क्वेश्चन पे क्वेश्चन पूछती जाऊंगी तो वुडंट इट साउंड लाइक अ स्क्रिप्ट? लाइक इंटरव्यूअर को एक्चुअल में कुछ पता तो था नहीं, वो मुझसे एक क्वेश्चन के बाद दूसरे के बाद तीसरा चौथा पूछता है, बोलता है ठीक है जाओ. दैट्स अ स्क्रिप्ट. ठीक है, सो इट हैज टू बी रिलेटेबल. And you have to make sure that you are relating. Okay, now do not settle for a mail. If you are doing that, if you are just settling for the mail, you're not going to close. And I have made this mistake a lot of times, so I know it. What I used to do was, when there was a client and I felt like I do not have the authority, or I do not feel confident about closing this customer, it's better that I just take them to the mail. I'll tell them, okay, I will mail you, I will get back to you on mail, and I'll send you the details on mail and this and that करके I used to close. ठीक है, हो गई बात. बट वो बात कभी क्लोज ही नहीं होती क्योंकि अब वो मेल पे रह गई है. अगर आपको क्लोज करनी है इन डिटेल, इन एंड आउट, स्टार्टिंग से लेके एंड तक सब कुछ डिस्कस कर लो इन पर्सन. जितना ज्यादा कर सकते हो उतना ज्यादा. एक कॉल करो, अच्छा ठीक है, आई विल डू वन थिंग, आई विल सेंड यू अ मैसेज with the link of the reviews, of the testimonials, of the videos, and watch them. And I am going to call you, and this is something that I have not mentioned, but I am going to mention it. I am going to call you at this time. Give them a deadline. If you do not give them a deadline to get back to you, they will forget you. Simple. Are you all with me? Are you all with me? Please type yes. Thank you. Making assumptions is the other thing that people do. A lot of people do that. They make assumptions. They think that the other person is busy, and or the other person is not interested. यार उसने ना rudely बात करी, मुझे नहीं लगता that he is interested. यार उसने ना मेरे से ये question पूछ लिया, मुझे लग रहा है he is just a rude, arrogant person. I don't want to talk to him. We make assumptions. We assume that people are rude. We assume that people are not interested. We assume a lot of things, like, you know, they are not actually busy, they are just trying to avoid you. Insecurities हमारे अंदर तो कूट कूट के भरी है. And I'm not kidding, but this is actually the fact. हम लोग इनसिक्योर जल्दी हो जाते हैं. एक्चुअल में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. द कस्टमर्स, दे आर जेन्युइनली लाइक दिस. दे आर लाइक, अगर आप खुद सोचो, मेरे को किसी चीज के बारे में बिल्कुल आइडिया भी नहीं है, अचानक से मुझे कॉल आ जाएगा, तो मैं कैसे रिएक्ट करूंगी. I'll also tell you one more thing, and this is a bit I don't know how it sounds, but that is true. Being a girl, I'm saying this, a lot of time it has happened. I call somebody and सामने वाला बंदा, because you know I speak in English or something, वो पैनिक हो जाते हैं. वो नहीं 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 करते, काट देते हैं. And I've faced this, and I can tell you this thing, it happens. But उस moment पे I had to make sure कि I make that person comfortable. In Hindi, I make them understand क्या है क्या नहीं है, तो I have to call them again. वो आपसे बात हो रही थी, लेकिन I think कुछ problem आ गया, then I continue. I have to do that. I have to make sure that I don't make assumption, अरे यार ये पागल है, क्या है ये, फोन रखो. ऐसे नहीं होना है. वो मेरे को ध्यान रखना है इस चीज का. I have to make sure that I have a clear communication with everyone, not deciding by myself that this is right and this is not. And I am saying this out of my own experience. I used to assume that people are being rude, they don't want to enroll. But that was not the case. They were being rude because they did not know. When they got to know, they were good, they were happy, they were satisfied. So वो हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि हम कैसे हैंडल कर रहे हैं उस लीड को. ठीक है. One is this. Now, apart from this also, I remember, I would like to give one example. So there was this one person, ठीक है, in our team, and she was very I don't know, she was shy or something. She couldn't talk to a lot of new people. So अगर उससे कोई ऊंची आवाज में बात करेगा या फिर उससे कोई कुछ ऐसे बोलेगा, don't disturb me, so she used to think that he's abusing me. How could he say that? How is he able to say this? So you know, वो हमारे assumptions हैं. आज तक ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि किसी ने हमसे कभी भी बदतमीजी से बात करी. ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होता है कि कोई आपसे रूडली बात करता है, बदतमीजी से बात करता है. Yes, there are one of cases are there wherein you might find really stupid people. Like once I did, and this was like, you know, I called a person and he said ki nahi, wo to nahi hai, and something happened, I don't know. His girlfriend picked up the call. वो ये उसका नंबर नहीं है, दोबारा कॉल मत करना, and this and that. You will find weird people when you start calling, and I'm talking about literally cold calling, right? And you will find such people. They will share their numbers and then they'll be like, you know, they're not talking to you, something or the other is happening. You might face such issues, but don't let that stop you from reaching out to more and more people. That is really very important. Okay. Now, running on to a deadline. So what is happening? आप बहुत जल्दबाजी में बात कर रहे हो. The reason why I've used this term is because we ourselves are giving us the deadlines. मुझे इतनी calls करनी है, वो तो मेरे को करनी है, लेकिन मुझे उसी वक्त वो close करनी है. That deadline is something you're not supposed to give to yourself. There are people who might know about your product today and will buy your product after 6 months. There are people who will know about your product and buy immediately. There are people who will buy after 2-3 years. And I'm telling you, this has happened in front of us. When a person registered for the first time in the first session, after that, they registered or enrolled after around 1 or 1.5 years. You know, so you don't give them the deadlines. अगर cold calling है, lead जो है वो वापस से cold हो जाती है, तो उसको आप वापस से warm कर सकते हो. They know about you. ठीक है, just make sure that you do not give them a deadline कि इसने अगर आज खरीदा प्रोडक्ट तो ये बायर है, अगर नहीं खरीदा तो ये साइड है. साइड नहीं करना है, उसे नर्चर करते रहना है. ऑलराइट, दैट्स रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ not ready for objections. A lot of time this happens. People are calling, or you are calling to someone. You do not prepare yourself for the objections that might just come up. Whenever, as I said, in your first call itself, in the opening line itself, if you feel अब देर रात में कॉल कर रहे हैं, अब देर रात में कॉल तो कर ही रहे हैं ना, दैट इज द फैक्ट, एंड उसके लिए गाली भी पड़ सकती है, फैक्ट. बट in the opening line itself, you have handled the objection. You do not face this problem again. Try and cover up the objections by yourself only. Okay, you know what? I know that the product is this, or whatever the benefits are, or whatever the drawbacks are of your product. Try and cover it up very smartly in your introduction, in your answers, in your way of handling the situation, everything. All right, that is very, very important. Just make sure आप लोगों के objections पहले से ही लिखे होने चाहिए. The list of objections are there with you, written somewhere. Okay, and once you have written the objections, you know how to answer them. Then it's much more convenient for you to handle it further. Common objections क्या होता है? I don't have time for this. I don't have money. You are way too expensive. I am already getting it in a very cheaper price. No, this is not my budget. I cannot afford it more than that. I'm sorry, but my friend said that this is not really a good product. I got a really bad feedback about it. Anything that you feel might come up, just make sure that you're ready with the answers. Okay. Then, ways of dealing with your cold customers. Now I'm going to tell you about the ways how you can deal with your cold customers. One of the major aspect, okay, of cold customers is the list that we get when we are supposed to call. And now coming not just from the aspect of sales, but let's say if it is for the interviews, if it is for the clients, okay, if you are a freelancer, if you are doing anything and you have to sell, how are you going to deal with your cold callings? Okay. First is prioritize your lead. You need to learn how to prioritize. Okay. How are you going to make sure that अच्छा इस lead को मुझे इतनी importance देनी है, इस lead को मुझे थोड़ी कम importance देनी है, क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो मुझे consider करनी चाहिए. So first most important thing is what is the source of the lead. So this person जिसके मेरे पास ID है, this person okay, he have registered for the webinar, fine, but he did not attend the webinar. Then there is a person who attended the webinar, who have shared his number in the webinar, and who has also clicked on the link in the mails that we have sent. That person is really interested. There is a person who is, who does not know much about the product. Now, what is happening? A person who did not attend the webinar, he don't know much about the product. Why? Because he did register, but he did not see the replay of the webinar. He did not attend the webinar. He has no idea about what is happening. So accordingly, I will prioritize. Now, how many times have we reached out to them? Let's say, okay, when this person registered for the webinar, he got a call from our end regarding, attending the webinar. After that, he shared his number in the webinar. After that, we gave him a call. We spoke to him at that time also. He clicked on the link. We called him that time also. But still, after talking 4 to 5 times to him in person, he is not enrolling. Now, what is going to happen? मेरा जो load है उस conversion पे, उस lead पे बहुत high हो जाएगा. That means in terms of my authority, in terms of my push, in terms of my what do you call it, like I will have that it's more of the ownership, or I would say एक right होता है हमारा किसी के ऊपर, हम उस पर बोल सकते हैं, हम उस authority के साथ उसको झाड़ सकते हैं, सुना सकते हैं, बोल सकते हैं उसे, क्या दिक्कत है बता. that एक relationship build हो चुका है हमारा उस level का. लेकिन अगर हम किसी से फर्स्ट टाइम बात कर रहे हैं, किसी से सेकंड टाइम बात कर रहे हैं, we are just being polite, we are just telling them अच्छा ठीक है. But when we have spoken to that person, we have built that relationship, we can with authority say, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you taking action? It's important for you. And what is there that is stopping you? You tell me. I am going to solve that problem for you. Don't worry about it. Just tell me what is wrong. वो tone देख रहे हो? Tone में difference आ जाएगा. Once we have spoken to that person for a long time. ठीक है? So what is the duration of the conversation? Let's say मेरी एक बंदे से सिर्फ एक ही बार बात हुई है, but वो एक बात भी मेरी कम से कम let's say 30 minutes के around हुई है. I still have that authority. I have that relationship built up with him. So I can still talk to him. Oh, hi, how are you? How have you been? How is your work going? You can get personal. You can talk about personal stuff. Okay. So that level can come. And of course, if the product, is definitely going to help them, you can with authority tell them, this is what you're supposed to do. Have to do it. It is going to help you. I know that you're going to get results. Do it. You can say it with full command in your hands. You can say it. ठीक है? आपके हाथ में है कि आप किस तरीके से build करते हो किसी के साथ relation in your customers. Just make sure you have the upper hand. Okay? You have the upper hand. Problem क्या होती है? हमें लगता है we do not have the upper hand because we are reaching out. If we are reaching out, so we have the lower hand just because हम request कर रहे हैं कुछ, हम उनसे मांग रहे हैं कुछ. ऐसा नहीं है. We are giving them something. We are helping them out. Okay. It's a transaction which will help them. So think from that perspective and then sell your product. Focus on giving the value and information to the customer instead of just, just telling them about your product. Give them knowledge, give them information, give them value that will help them understand better. Give them stories. Help them understand the things, what they are doing, how they are doing, where they're going wrong, what are the probabilities of, things getting better in their life. Just talk about those things instead of directly just pitching your product and, not talking about anything else, but able to relate with their life also. That's important. Okay. Now, do not seek for the closure instantly. Give them some space, enough space. Now, the reason why I've mentioned enough is because I know I have given space to people and they vanish. I cannot do that also. I need to give them enough space. At the same time, I have to be constantly there on their head to make sure that, okay, I have to close it. But of course, closure वो कैसे आता है? वो on the spot तो नहीं आएगा. First call पे तो नहीं आएगा. अगर फर्स्ट कॉल पे आपका क्लोजर आता है वो मोस्टली तब आता है जब सामने से आपको कॉल आता है. When they have seen, okay, I saw about your product, I saw this is happening, that is happening. I think I would like to enroll to your program. Yeah, let me know how to go about it. सामने से आ रहे हैं. That person is interested. That person has shown interest and they know about you. And they just wanted to make sure of certain things. They have money in hand and they just instantly want to close. But when we are making the call, first call, at that moment, no, we are not the ones, closing and everything. We are the ones who are giving them value and nurturing them for a longer term and just keeping hold on them. ठीक है? Authority build करने पे ध्यान देना है ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. इस पे ध्यान देना. ठीक है? Make them say yes. How many times you have said yes over here? It's important to make sure while having a conversation with anyone, you ask them questions which will lead them to yes. Okay. For example, okay, so you have given a lot of interviews as of now, right? Yes. But you are facing difficulty in how exactly you are able to, close in the interview, right? Yes. Okay, so is it like you're not able to gather the right word at the right time? Yes. Okay, so when the interviewer is asking you a question, do you fumble or something? Yes. Whatever, you ask them, just try to make sure that they are answering it in yes. So whatever relevant questions that you can come up with according to your product, make sure that you make them say yes. As many yeses, the much more they acknowledge and they agree with you and they believe you, they trust you. So ये एक trust building factor भी होता है. जितना ज्यादा आप उनसे रिलेट कर पाते हो, हाँ 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 सही बोल रहे हो, हाँ सही बोल रहे हो, हाँ ऐसा ही होता है, हाँ राइट, जितना ज्यादा वो हाँ करेंगे उतना ज्यादा वो आपके साथ सिंक में आते जाएंगे. ठीक है. So just make sure you are doing this. This is really very important. Then, what is the average duration of your call? Whenever you're taking a call, what is the average duration that you have usually? Usko mind mein rakho. Average duration. For example, let's say our average duration of a call is somewhere around 10 minutes. It goes longer than that also, but 10 minutes is something which is an average. Less than that is not happening much. Most of the time 10 minute आराम से निकल जाते हैं. The reason why I'm able to talk to you right now is this only, that I know what time खिंच जाता है, आराम से खिंच जाता है. But again, you need to know if you are having the interactive conversation or you are just having one-sided conversation. It's important for you to understand that and identifying what is the average duration of your call. Okay, let's say my average duration is somewhere around 10 minutes. I am making sure that at least 10 minutes I am able to provide them with best of the value. I am able to provide them with the right guidance. I am giving them the right information, and at the same time I am solving their problems. So there are a lot of things that I have to cover in these 10 minutes. Okay, I have to make sure that वो एक repo build हो रहा है उस 10 मिनट के अंदर अंदर. ठीक है. Now, you are giving the complete information about the product. This is, as I said, this is very important, but making sure that first you are giving the relevant information and then you are giving every information. All right. This is how it goes. Relevant information is mostly the one that is solving their problem, and other information is what you are going to give them about the product, which is not really relevant to them, but yes, it can add value to them. For example, let's say I have talked about the negotiation part, and after that, once you become part of an organization, you have to constantly grow. You have to make sure that you're working upon yourself, you are getting increments and promotions, your communication skills, and everything is going really good, right? So it's important for you also to work upon yourself constantly, and that is why there are few trainings which I have conducted regarding your stress management, your time management, how you can improve yourself, all those things, increments and promotions, and having a winner mindset, and how you can be a better leader. So these are the things that we'll also be covering. What is happening here? मैंने main चीज तो बता दी, but उसके बाद मैंने ये जरूर add किया that what are the additional informations which are there about your product, which is important as well, whether there are bonuses, whether there are benefits, any security that you are providing, any assistance that you are providing, all these things are important. I'll give you one more example about giving information. So there was this event that we were conducting, okay? And I think I have noticed this about a lot of events that happens across the world. People, when especially in India, when we are selling the tickets of the event, like educational event, so what they talk about is not the content that they are going to deliver in the event, but about food, beverages, drinks, after parties, photo sessions, opportunity to meet this person or that person, all these things. But actual में क्या value दे रहे हैं उसके बारे में कोई बात ही नहीं हो रही. So understanding कि you have to make sense of what you are selling. It's an educational product or educational event that you are selling, right? You have to talk about what value you are going to share. ठीक है? It's important. Okay. Now, be relevant to the customer. As I said, it's important to identify what is their problem, asking them questions again and again, and being relevant. Talk to listen. This is something that we have to consider. Let's say 70% of the talking they are doing, 30% of the talking we are doing. This should be actually the average. I would say, 70-30 is something that should be there. 70 of them and 30 of you. All right. You only ask questions. Let them vent out. all the things that they have inside. You gather information as much as you can. जितना ज्यादा आप सुनोगे, जितना ज्यादा आप उनकी बातों को समझोगे, उतना ज्यादा आप उनसे रिलेट कर पाओगे. If you want to genuinely relate with them. Okay, now to relate, listening to them, asking them the questions, letting them vent out the problems that they are facing. Let them speak. अच्छा अभी क्या प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हो? Oh, अच्छा अच्छा. And trust me, if you have built that rapport, if you are asking the right questions, they will open up like anything. And I can tell you this out of my experience, that people talk to strangers more than they talk to people they know. This is the fact. We get lambe mails and messages from people who are facing problem with their careers. They cannot share their problems with their loved ones, their family, friends, or anybody. Nobody is there. But strangers are there. You just have to build that trust to be relatable to them and let them talk. And they will talk to you. They'll open up. Arey yaar, bas kya bataun, kya hua tha? They'll be like that. And they become like that if you give them that comfort zone. Okay. This I have also mentioned earlier. Be ready to tell them the harsh realities. A lot of times you will be facing issues jahan pe you will feel, nahi yaar, itna rude nahi bolna chahiye tha mujhe. I think I should stop there. No. It depends. Of course, it depends how you are talking about it. For example, there's a huge difference in the tone as well, which I have noticed. When I say the harsh realities, people take it. Maybe because of my voice modulation, maybe because of the tone that I use. It's kind of more awareing kind of a thing and not taunting kind of a thing. Okay, so there's a difference. I'm trying to create awareness and they understand that. If you talk from the perspective of not creating awareness but taunting, then definitely they'll not be good at taking it. ठीक है? So आपको अपनी tone पे बहुत ध्यान रखना है. Not everyone has the same tone. So I would just request you, when you are telling them the harsh realities, mind your tone. Okay? Tell them the truth. Be rude, but tone. Just make sure. Okay? You can always choose your customers. Do not sell to everyone. Don't try to sell to everyone. How many of you over here are doing that? You're trying to close every sale. Please type yes. How many of you are trying to close every deal, every sale, every conversation that you're having? Type yes over here. Nobody, is it? ऐसा क्या? I'm audible to everyone? और कोई
Yes, Aditi, you are audible.
कोई फेस नहीं कर रहा है ऐसी प्रॉब्लम. क्या बात कर दी है? I hope I am not giving like ज्यादा नहीं हो गया कि सर के ऊपर से निकल रहा है सबके. Let me switch on the video for a while. Just for a while, I'll be able to switch on the video. I want to see people, yeah. When we try to reach out to everyone, when we are talking to somebody for the first time, there are times that we are not able to put in that level of impression. Yeah, something is happening. They're not in a good state of mind. Whatever is there, it's really important that we do not close each and every person. Sometimes there are really not good from your people who might not be able to understand your product. They might not be understanding your values and your methods. You do not have to sell to everyone. That is really important. Identifying the right people is important. All right. Cool. Take care. Now follow-up messages. How many of you follow-up messages? How many of you get stuck in this point? Now this is the point when we get stuck. A lot of times we think, या मेरी जो last time इससे बात हुई थी उसके हिसाब से अभी मुझे doubt हो रहा है ये आगे रिस्पॉन्स देगा नहीं देगा, क्या करूं, चलो छोड़ो रहने देता हूं, अभी नहीं करता हूं, and all that stuff. A lot of people take a step back when it comes to follow-ups. And a lot of people, so I was talking about prioritizing your list. You have to make a list. Now I'll just give you a example, just make notes of it as well. So there's a sheet that you are using, okay? In that sheet, you are writing people's name, okay? and the conversations that you had with them for the first time. After that, किसको आपको follow up करना है कितनी बार, उसका आप list बनाओगे. ठीक है? You keep on mentioning, okay, this was the date I sent them this message. This was the date I sent them this call, this mail, or I made a call. The next time, this was a call that I made. So there's a proper follow-up calls sheets that you're maintaining, right? You have to make sure the people who are not picking up your calls, you talk to them. People who are not responding to you, you talk to them. People until they block you, you talk to them. You keep on talking to them. Okay? Keep on sending them mails, messages, be there, visible everywhere. They blocked you on this call them from the other number. Until, I'm not kidding. I am very serious. This is how we close. Sidhu, you tell us.
Yes, ma'am.
You tell us. Don't be close like this.
Yes, ma'am. And we will be calling with multiple numbers and used to swap our numbers with other team members if they're stop receiving our calls.
Exactly. Thank you, Sidhu. Thank you. So that's what we used to do. We used to call them from different numbers until they're like, "Arey, nahi lena yaar, chhod do, nahi lena." Until then, we are like, and actually, the time that we wait for is when they unsubscribe from the mails. Then we would stop. Then we are like, chal theek hai, ab mail se hi unsubscribe kar diya, ab kya karna? But until then, we'll keep on reaching out to them because we know that they are looking for it. They're just making excuses, and it is true. They do make excuses, and it happens. It keeps on happening. Now, what should be your call flow? Let's talk about the call flow, how it should go about. Okay? Introduction. I am Aditi Sharma. I'm calling from EduBridge. Okay? Just a simple to the point line that you are using. Okay? Very simple opening line. आपका जो मैं call का flow बता रही हूँ, that's very simple for your first call, cold call. Okay? You tell them exactly the purpose. So I'm calling to inform you about the program that we have launched. Okay? The program that we have, simple. Then qualifying the customer. How do we make sure that the customer will still listen to us? नहीं, मुझे जानना ही नहीं है. सीधा ये बोल देगा ना, मुझे जानना ही नहीं है. Why should they? So the best thing to go about is you tell them why they are relevant or why you are calling them. Why is it right to call them? Okay. It is right to reach out. That depends upon your company policy. That depends upon your company policies. If they are allowed, then definitely you can. And if they are, let's say, high-end people, make personal connections. No, it's not important that you sell them. As I said, not on every call you are selling. You are touching. You are just touching them by giving them value, information, building a personal relationship with them. So you just touch them from anywhere possible. LinkedIn pe reach out karo. If they are the individuals, you feel ki haan, theek hai, it might take some time to build that relationship with them. Do that. It's okay. That's not a problem. Okay? Now, how do you qualify a customer, making sure that when you're reaching out to them, they do not say, "Oh, nahi, mere ko janna hi nahi aapke course ke baare mein, mere ko janna hi nahi aapke program ke baare mein, kya hai kya nahi." In that case, you tell them why did you actually call them, why you called them specifically. That means I could see you have submitted your inquiry regarding the program. You are the one who reached out to us. I could see that you have clicked on the mail. I could see this is what you have been doing. So we reached out to you. So we have to give them a qualifying reason that why did you call them, so that they are not able to be like, nahi, mujhe nahi janna. Na, mujhe karna hi nahi. Are aap hi ne to query dala hai, aap hi ne interest show kara hai. That is why I'm calling. I could see that you're looking for a new job opportunity. So just wanted to check with you. अभी मैंने कॉलेज वाले लीड्स की बात करी थी. कॉलेज जो लीड्स खरीदते हैं. I could see you have registered and you want to, you're looking for a college for your higher studies. This is what we have to offer. Okay? Now, hit them with the right question. आपने ओपनिंग किया अपना इंट्रोडक्शन देके, आपने उनको बताया कि आपने किस लिए कॉल किया, आपने फिर उनको बताया उन्हीं को क्यों कॉल किया. ठीक है. Then आपने उनको एक right question से hit किया. What did you ask them? Could you please tell me what is the problem you are facing in your current process? So right now you're looking for a job. Could you just tell me what is the issue that you're facing and process that you're following, so that you are able to identify what is the major problem that they are facing. Okay? So it's really important for us to connect with people with the right question in the opening line itself. Whatever is your product, whatever, ask them the right question. Okay? Now, certain things that you need to keep in mind. I hope that you are able to understand the strategies that I've talked about, and the process of your call that should go about, and also certain things that you need to keep in mind. Here they are. Let them do the talking. Let them say all the things that they want to. Let them share the information and value, or information, I would say, about their problems that they are facing, anything and everything, the product that they are using. Take out as much information as you can. So let them do the talking. And make sure of one thing. Acha, theek hai. Ek aur cheez hoti hai. In the cold call, you are the one who is leading the call, and still you are making them talk. They are talking, but you are leading with the right questions. Okay, keep this thing in mind. Now, when you are leading the conversation, you have the upper hand. You are telling them this is right for you, and this is how you should be getting the results. And then you tell them what is the plan of action. Make sure, do not close just like that. Okay, theek hai, we will get back to you. Okay, let me know later. Give them a closure. Proper call to action is required. Without call to action, your call is wasted. अगर आपने उनको नहीं बताया कि next क्या करना है, call to action is telling them what to do exactly right after this call. The moment you are going to disconnect the call, I am sending you a message. Go through the link. I will be calling you after 20 minutes. You tell them what exactly is supposed to be done. If you do not tell them, nothing is going to happen. Same thing is happening in your emails. When you are sending people an email, you do not give them call to action. You do not tell them, okay, this is the time I am looking forward to meet you. This is the time I'm looking forward to hear from you. You are not getting the closure. Why? Because they will forget. They will not remember. वो भूल जाएंगे कि आपको किस लिए उन्होंने रीच आउट किया, क्या बात थी, क्या नहीं थी. I have so many things to do. I don't remember, to be honest. I just forget. And then you'll have to remind me. Okay? One is this. Then never ask a question that can lead you to a no. Okay? If there is any question that you are asking and they'll be like, nahi, mujhe nahi karna. Never. Try to make sure. Kabhi kabhi ho jata hai. We are not the experts. We don't know. What if somebody will say no to certain things? That's okay. But don't do it all the time. Try to make sure that you're not doing it every time. Leading the questions to no. Okay? They can be genuinely busy, or they're not in a good state of mind. I have given you several examples of so many calls that I have made till now. And I have told you all the things, कि किस तरीके से अलग-अलग लोग react करते हैं. There are times when people are genuinely busy, genuinely not able to respond. And at that time, when they're not in a good state of mind, you cannot fight, but just wait. इसलिए being optimistic is really important. मेरे साथ ये बहुत होता था that I used to be like, नहीं, मतलब नहीं करना, मुझे आगे कॉल ही नहीं करना. क्यों नहीं करना? क्योंकि well, they are not showing interest, so I don't want to. But ऐसा नहीं था. They were actually interested. It's just that I did not call them because I was hesitant. That was it. So I make sure that I am keeping my hesitations aside, understanding there are possibilities, they are genuinely busy. Just keeping that in mind. Okay? Now, you either get a closing, मैं पहले ही बोल चुकी. You either get the closing or you get blocked. But not on the first call. Please. First call पे ना आपको close होना है ना आपको block होना है. Please. You have to make sure कि आपकी जो first call है वो इतनी अच्छी जा रही है, इतने आप repo build कर पा रहे हो. Focus upon building the rapport. That's it. In the first call. ठीक है? And also making sure that you are building up. मैं अगर किसी से first time बात कर रही हूँ, just consider it as a common friend. a person who is a common friend. पता है, it makes a lot easier. अगर आप किसी common friend से बात करने जा रहे हो तो आपको पता है nobody is judging you, right? You're just telling them, have a conversation. अरे हाँ ये बात हुई थी या वो हुआ था. Just opening up with a connection, right? You're opening up with a connection. You are having a conversation with a common friend. And अरे उसने एक बार ये किया था, अरे ऐसा हो गया था, वैसा हो गया था. करते हैं ना हम common friends से ऐसे बात. एग्जैक्टली ऐसे ही आपको एक कॉमन कनेक्शन निकाल के उस इंसान से बात करनी है और एक कॉन्वर्सेशन बिल्ड करना है. दैट्स इट. नॉट ट्राइंग टू क्लोज. इट्स नॉट अ सेल्स कॉल. it's more of a guidance call or a feedback call. ठीक है, something of those sorts. And that is how you continue the conversation. Right now, I believe I have talked a lot about cold calling. Understanding about sales, I would love to say this, that careers in sales, you have a lot of opportunities. इसके लिए मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा slides दिखाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. मैं basic 2 चीज़ों के around आपको बताऊंगी. That if you are an individual who would want to make your career in sales, there are a lot of probabilities that why you should be making a career in sales. Because first, it has money. It has good potential in terms of earning. I had no idea about it, but yes, it does. Second, it has security. Now, think about the pandemic situation. A lot of people were being hired and fired. Fired a lot, right? But considering a person who is generating revenue for my organization, do you think I would want to fire that person? अगर worst case scenario भी हो जाता है ना, तो मुझे पता है ये इंडिविजुअल मेरे लिए पैसा लेकर आ रहा है, और अगर उसके अंदर इतनी कैपेसिटी नहीं है कि वो मेरे लिए रेवेन्यू लेकर आ रहा है इस प्रोडक्ट के लिए, तो ठीक है, वो कहीं और जाके किसी और के लिए रेवेन्यू जनरेट कर सकता है. रेवेन्यू जनरेशन is a very important aspect of any business. If you're not doing it, you are not actually being valued. कितना भी काम आप कितनी भी चीजों के लिए कर लो, अगर आप रेवेन्यू लेकर आ रहे हो कंपनी में, या आप कॉस्ट कटिंग कर पा रहे हो कंपनी का, आपकी इज्जत है. एंड दिस इज द फैक्ट. जितने भी आप हाईएस्ट लेवल के मैनेजमेंट में देखोगे, वीपी के लेवल्स को देखोगे, डायरेक्टर के लेवल्स को देखोगे, वो लोग मोस्टली मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पीपल हैव गॉन थ्रू द सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग प्रोसेस. ज्यादातर लोग सेल्स और मार्केटिंग से ही निकल के आते हैं, क्योंकि वो नेटवर्किंग कर पाते हैं, वो लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा अपने लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट कर पाते हैं, वो कंपनीज को डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट्स दे पाते हैं, एंड कंपनीज डोंट रियली वांट देम टू लीव अंटिल डेफिनेटली यू आर टेकिंग देम टू लॉस. अगर आप सच्ची में लॉस में लेके जा रहे हो कंपनी को, तो मत करो सेल्स, ठीक है. बट ऑनेस्टली, इफ यू डू लर्न द आर्ट ऑफ people handling, you can do sales. And I am saying it because I am doing it. Like, I am not good at sales. I am saying this upfront, but I am good in understanding people. I am good in understanding situations. I am good in solving the problems. I am good in connecting with the problems of other people. I am good in understanding the product and then relating it and getting the work done. ये सारी चीजें important है, rather than just directly selling it. डायरेक्टली सेल करना मतलब कि बस टारगेट अचीव नहीं. रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड करना भी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है, सेल्स का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट होता है. सो इफ यू थिंक दैट जस्ट achieving targets is sales, no, that is not true. You will be able to achieve the targets if you get your other things set right. Okay, if you learn the tricks, if you learn the tactics, it gets very easy. Sales is not that difficult. And let's say if there is a situation जहां पे बिक ही नहीं रही है सेल, ठीक है, हो ही नहीं रहा है, प्रोडक्ट ही नहीं बिक रहा है, you have the skill set to get into any field that you want. Do you know that? It's not just about of course the technical thing is different, but sales skills, the selling skills which are required, it is required in every field, every aspect. Handling people management is something that is required, right? Negotiation is something that is required. Building relationships, giving presentation, communication skills, interpersonal skills, all these skills are there, which are there in sales, right? These skills are used in HR as well. These skills are used in admin, in management, in product management, in a lot of different fields as well. Okay, so all you have to do is you just need to learn. And अगर आप कोई भी JD pick करते हो, किसी भी कंपनी का JD pick करोगे, there are certain common skill set which are required for every job, in every industry, every company. Leadership, interpersonal skills, problem solving, these are certain skills which are required. Sales is the core of all these skills. Sales is something to core it. आप वो already develop कर चुके हो. अगर आपको लगता है in the end you want to switch and you want to go to some other industry, very easy to switch, not at all difficult. And I'm telling you, sales fit in everywhere, every field, every industry, everywhere. I have worked with hospitality, I've worked with hospitals, I've worked with NGOs, with colleges, schools, retail, entertainment, every industry, politics, everything. And everywhere this skill has helped me a lot. So that is why I am saying sales, if you want to make a career, definitely go for it. How are you supposed to go for it? Identify your transferable skills first. First step, identify your transferable skills. Okay. Second, identify a startup if you are planning to just get started with your career. Okay, in sales, identify a startup. From there, if you will grow way too far. Okay, you will become a part of a core team. Okay, so become part of a startup. Second, and then third comes that if you really want to do sales, stop taking the pressure of targets. Don't consider मुझे target ही achieve करना है. नहीं, मुझे product पे भरोसा करना है. Identify what service do you love providing the most. Okay, identify what product you have most faith in. Like I have a lot of faith in education, right? So I am working in that area only. I have worked with those areas जिसपे मुझे भरोसा है. So identify that first and then get into that particular field. It will get very easy for you to sell that product where you have confidence. Okay, don't just pick कहीं पे भी कोई भी नौकरी मिल रही है तो कर लेंगे यार, बेचना शुरू कर देंगे, ऐसे नहीं करना बस. ठीक है, these three things if you are able to do, you will be able to grow very easily. That's it. I think that would be all for from my end for today. If there are any questions, any queries anyone has, I am open to answer all the questions.